He ruled a superpower through absolute fear. Yet in his final hours, he lay helpless as his own guards watched in terror. This is the dark, untold reality of history's most paranoid dictator, Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin's paranoia was unlike anything the world had ever seen. He didn't just execute his political rivals or former allies, he literally erased them from existence. If a high-ranking official fell out of his favor, Stalin's secret police would track down every single official photograph, newspaper, and historical archive containing that person's face. Using chemicals and sharp scalpels, artists would manually scrape their images out of history. To the public, it was as if these people were never even born. Stalin possessed the terrifying power to rewrite reality itself, proving that in his empire, even the past wasn't safe. Deep inside the frozen, unforgiving wilderness of Siberia, Stalin constructed a massive network of secret forced labor camps known as the Gulags. Millions of innocent citizens, scientists, artists, and anyone suspected of disloyalty were rounded up and thrown into these living hellholes. Forced to build canals, railways, and mines in temperatures dropping below -40 degrees, prisoners worked with almost zero food. If a worker collapsed from exhaustion, hunger, or hypothermia, they were simply left to freeze into the ice. Historians estimate that millions of lives were ground to dust just to fuel Stalin's massive industrial machine. Between 1936 and 1938, Stalin's paranoia reached a dangerous, bloodthirsty climax known as the Great Purge. Convinced that his own military generals, closest friends, and government officials were conspiring to overthrow him, he launched a systematic wave of terror. Neighbors turned on neighbors, and children were forced to denounce their parents to avoid the secret police. Mock trials were staged, where innocent heroes were tortured into confessing to fabricated crimes. By the time the purge ended, nearly 1 million people had been swiftly executed in dark basements, and millions more were vanished forever. Stalin's cruelty wasn't reserved just for his enemies. It extended directly to his own family. During World War II, his eldest son, Yakov, was captured on the front lines by Nazi forces. Recognizing a massive political opportunity, Adolf Hitler offered a direct prisoner exchange. He would return Stalin's son in exchange for a highly valuable, captured German field marshal. But Stalin, cold and unyielding, shockingly refused the trade. He coldly stated, "I will not switch a marshal for a mere soldier." Abandoned by his own father, Yakov died trapped in a German concentration camp, proving Stalin valued brutal wartime propaganda over his own blood. On paper, Stalin lived a simple life, wearing a modest military uniform and owning no personal bank accounts or massive estates. But the grand illusion hid a jaw-dropping reality. As the absolute dictator of the Soviet Union, Stalin completely controlled 1/6 of the entire planet's landmass. Every single gold reserve, weapons factory, oil field, and palace belonged entirely to him. If you calculate the sheer scale of the entire Soviet economy under his personal command, his net worth easily exceeded $350 billion in today's value, making him richer than almost any modern billionaire. But the universe has a poetic way of delivering justice, and Stalin's final hours were his ultimate punishment. In March 1953, Stalin suffered a massive, paralyzing stroke inside his private room. For over 12 hours, he lay helpless on the floor. His guards heard him collapse, but they were too paralyzed by fear to unlock the door, because Stalin had previously ordered that anyone entering without permission would be executed. To make matters worse, when they finally broke in, no top-tier doctors were available. Why? because Stalin had already imprisoned the country's best medical minds during his final fits of paranoia. The tyrant died suffocating in his own terror. The man who ruled through fear was ultimately destroyed by the very fear he created. Which of these dark facts shocked you the most? Drop your comments below, hit that like button, and subscribe to Timeline Diaries for more legendary historical breakdowns. See you in the next video.